Hey everybody, welcome to the Creepy Cascadia podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sami. I'm one of your hosts, and I am joined by my sexy beast of a co-host, Adam.
Yeah,
How you doing today, babe?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
It's Monday.
and it's hot still.
Yeah,
And it's smoky
still
here in
warm.
the PN dubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some wildfires out east of us that somehow is blowing back our way.
Par for the course. I feel like the last few summers we've had fires that have been it makes it look like Silent Hill. Like it literally, like if you look out in the mornings, or I was driving down the road to work, and it's along the water, but it was like real smoky still, and I'm like, I feel like I'm driving into Silent Hill right now.
Yep.
Did you ever watch that movie?
I don't think I ever watched the movie, but
Wasn't it a
friends
video
played the
game?
video game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It was on the same par of like Resident Evil, where it's like
yeah,
the video game was meant to scare you and freak you out and stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
that happened.
yeah.
The
Well,
people I knew.
it wasn't me. I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't fucking do shit.
I didn't do this.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't watching, I think you should leave on Netflix. You're missing out.
There are certain sketches that make it all worth it.
So
like the bad sketches worth it.
Hilarious. It's a pretty good one. And if I feel like there's certain things that like everybody thinks are hilarious. So if you catch the right crowd, you can say something and everybody knows what you mean, and it's so validating. It just makes you feel like a pop star.
Yeah.
Or me at least, anyways.
Are you at work being like, I didn't fucking do this?
I have told people at work to watch it, but it's more of like, what the fuck? Yeah. So summer's winding down. I'm pretty excited about that. Especially with the smoke. I want it to start raining so it'll help with the wildfires because air quality is terrible and people have to go out there and work in that and fight those fires. Losses of homes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm all like, oh Lord, the smoke got me.
I got bronchitis. I didn't grab my shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. That so reminds me of my friend Aisha. When we worked together, we always used to watch that one and hide your kids, hide your wives. They were out here raping everybody.
Yep.
And he's like, you are so dumb.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
Yep. That was
Such good, man. I miss
the
those.
random news. Mm-hmm. Funny news are newscasts like your local news.
Yep. I did see somewhere that like that woman got off of like she got clean and like got her life together and everything. So that was really cool.
Okay.
I didn't realize she was on drugs. I mean, I thought she was just like very animated. But I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I did some more Halloween shopping over the weekend. 2 days in a row I went, and I wasn't going to do it the second day, and I did. Because I popped into Michael's to see what they had. And
everywhere's got some.
everybody, you know what doesn't have anything? Target and Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
They're like back to school, and I'm like, fuck them kids. Get your Halloween shit out, man.
Yeah, it might be that way till Labor Day, right?
Probably. You know, I feel like last year Walmart had out their stuff early, but I haven't seen any at the one that's by my work when I've had to pop in there like to grab something.
Yeah.
Because I check. I took you in there and I was like, we need to run over to the other side of the store real quick. And you're like, why? Because we need to check something.
Yeah.
And then as we got, you're like, are you trying to see if there's Halloween stuff? And I'm like, I absolutely am. Saw right through me.
Took me a while.
Yep. But you got there.
I did. I got there eventually.
Well, if we have any listeners in the path of Hurricane Hillary, please stay safe. We hope it passes without doing too much damage. We know there's lots of storms going on right now and the fires in Hawaii, lots of natural disasters. So, everybody stay safe if you're out there and you listen to us. Be careful. We have some friends that live in California that hopefully get passed by.
They're more worried about their kids' school getting canceled.
That's fair.
Be like, these kids got to go back to school on time.
No more, no like at home schooling or online schooling. They need to get out of my house. That's like on Parks and Rec, that one episode. She's like, when they had the Freddy Spaghetti concert and the parks were all closed because of like their, the town was broke.
Yeah.
And this woman is at the town hall and she's like, what am I supposed to do with my kids? Let them in my house all summer? It's like, fair. I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't have any kids.
Feel your pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, today, before we start, as always, I have a very important question.
Ooh, a very important question.
Yep.
A Vic?
Vip? Vic?
No, Vip
You're
would be
right.
a very important person. Yeah, I was like, replace the P with the Q.
I was thinking
But you pronounce
C.
it Vic?
I was thinking C, and I'm like, no, that's not right. But I don't know where the fuck P came from.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Came from a bladder.
Are you sure you're not a dad? Because that was the daddest joke of all.
Yeah. Goes from your kidneys to your bladder. From your bladder to your urethra.
All right, Professor. We don't need a science lesson.
Yeah, what you got for me?
In the time since you've known me and learned more about the creepy, strange, paranormal, excessive true crime overload,
Okay.
what do you think's been the most interesting topic that we've talked about or that you've learned from me?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
And not all the sex stuff I taught you, just the regular stuff.
Like that one time when we were like...
Stop. I started it and now I wished I didn't.
For those of you who can't see what I'm doing the end of Scrooged, where Bill Murray is talking to...
Moving on.
Moving on. But he's like talking to her through the camera. He's like, remember that time when we were doing the thing? And he's like, our bodies all intertwined. And he like goes up on like one leg and moves his arms like a very certain way. Like,
It's called the Flying Lotus.
it reminds me of like trust falls.
Jesus.
You got to hold your arms out in a certain way and then fold them in so that when you fall, you don't like freak out and be like, blah! And your arms smack the people trying to catch you.
Have you ever done a trust fall?
Oh, yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah, I don't trust people enough to do that. Never done one.
Never?
I'm pretty
Never?
sure I've
Not
never
even
done
like
one.
high school or...
No, because I especially didn't trust the fuckers I went to high school with. Are you kidding me?
I feel like that was the first time I did one. It was like high school church camp or something like that.
Church can't make sense.
Yeah.
Don't run from the Lord.
Just fall.
Just fall.
We'll catch you.
People in my high school used to sit in the hall and trip the underclassmen. Like they would sit lining the halls, and you'd have to walk by at some point.
Yeah.
Now, as I say that, we also did that when we were upperclassmen too. But
Right.
yeah.
We've got a raccoon family that comes to our back door now.
Oh man. Mom and
Mama.
3 kids, and they're so cute. They fucking set off our trap. We have a live trap because it's been really hot, and so there's a black and white kitten, small cat that has been coming around. And last week when it was super hot, it like started to come to me on the upstairs deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh crap, like I think it's going to let me get it, because it wanted to come in because it was so hot." Well, I opened the door and put some water out and some food out, and it took off. So we set our live trap because we want to try to trap it so we can take it to the Humane Society to get it taken care of and adopted out, essentially.
Or go and beat the family that leaves it outside.
Yeah, because if it's chipped, they'll track you down.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anybody reporting. Somebody did report a ginger cat missing in our area.
Yeah.
His name's Mike. I was like, Mike not make it back to Mike not make it back to his family because it's a ginger cat. No, just kidding. I would never do that. But anyway, so these raccoons. So we set this trap with food and water. And it's one of those spring traps. So as soon as they step in it, it like traps them, right? We go. It was the last
heard
night
a
or the
loud
night.
noise.
Yeah, the night before. It was Sunday night or
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah. 2 nights.
Yeah. So we're laying in bed and we both heard something. And I was like, did you hear that? Or no, we were upstairs. And I was like, did you hear that? And we come running downstairs, and there's a mom raccoon and 3 littler raccoons. They're not babies, but they're still little. They're really cute.
Yeah. Half size.
Half size. They had fucking pulled the back end of the trap open. Like, there's a rod that keeps the back part open, so you can't, like, so you can pull it as the person to let the animal out, like if you trap a raccoon or something and that's not what you're trying to trap. They had pulled it open. They got, with their little teeny tiny hands, they got it open.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've already been smart. We've already seen them, like, I think it's been the mom raccoon will, like, reach through the grating, like, on the side with the food.
Yeah, and pull out handfuls.
Pull out handfuls, or, like, dump the bowl and then, like, they can get
under, because our deck is like has slats, so they can get under. I think they can get under those slats and get the food that they dropped.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. That was a tangent of all tangents, let me tell you.
That was the most interesting thing.
Yes.
That we've
talked about. Of course, they came back last night, so we were like watching through the window and taking videos.
And they know when we're there. They get wary real quick.
Well, then Jack's like started growling at him, our cat, because he protects his people, and he like smacked the window and they took off. They're like, all right, deuces, we're out.
Yeah.
We're not trying to play with with you, dude.
I was trying to catch video of Jackson growling at him.
Yeah.
But he smacked the window before I could. And, and then he stopped growling because they started to leave.
He's like, that's what I thought, bitch, run.
Yep.
Anyways, most interesting topic you've learned from me.
Raccoon family.
That's not learned from me.
I didn't experience it until I was with you.
Yeah, because your wife is weird and wants to catch animals and puts out cat food. The one thing you're not supposed to fucking do.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, previous to you, I was not trying to catch cats. Random feral cats. Like,
to be fair, you were maybe trying to catch some pussy before me. Don't lie.
Only if it fell in my lap. Right?
Adam with the dad jokes today.
But yeah, I would sometimes, if I saw like an animal that seemed like a little in distress, I'd put out like a bowl of water or something.
Yeah.
I didn't have cat food, obviously.
Yeah.
I think I threw something out. I think when we had a raccoon out off the back deck before,
we threw some like lunch meat or something down there.
Yeah, we threw
I remember
some food down for them to eat, like some trash food or whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna toss that watermelon too. We need to throw that out. I'm gonna toss it out in the back so they can have it.
Oh yeah, they'd really like that.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a favorite topic. You actually want me to choose one?
Is there anything that stands out in your mind?
I think the one that hits the most for me is still our first episode.
Okay. Lindsey
Baum case, yeah. Because it's a local-ish case. We drive by there all the time. Mm-hmm. Still unsolved. Like,
it's funny you mentioned that because I actually was looking at our stats today for downloads and things like that per episode. Yeah. If you guys are listening, feel free to download our episodes, tell your friends about us, do all the things, because give us a rating and a review, because that really helps us. But that is our most downloaded episode.
Yeah.
Through the course of almost a year.
I feel like it's natural for the first episode to be the one.
Well, it's kind of sad when I look at it and then look at the other stats, because that one's had 331 downloads.
Okay.
And the rest are sitting at like
sub 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
So download us, guys, if you like us. We're getting better, I promise.
Yeah. We probably had like not the greatest sound.
Oh no, we've continually been trying to improve the podcast. So
yeah.
If you've listened to us before, tell your friends, even if they're like, "Oh yeah, they weren't great." Tell them to give us another chance. Start at this episode or the last one. We're continually getting better. So, and we like doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a stat that was like no one's good on their first podcast, like, so
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
By the time you hit like 50, 100, you'll be better,
And we're at episode 43 right now, so.
Only 43? I
Only
thought we
43.
were higher.
No, 43. And also, this is going to be a two-parter because it's a real big topic that we're covering today.
Okay.
So, just FYI, this is going to be part 1. Do you want to know what we're talking about?
Jumpin' Jack's Jerk Chicken Shack? Or
Jerky Shack.
Jerky Shack.
I
knew I had fucked it up because I'm like, it was 4 words and Jack and Shack rhymed.
Jumpin' Jack's Jerky Shack.
Yeah.
I literally want to make a shirt that has like an image of a cat with like, if we ever get merch, like if we get enough people that want to like get merch, you bet your ass that there is going to be a shirt or sticker or coffee mug or all 3 with Jack's cartoon version wearing an apron with some
I want him jumping.
Chicken.
I want him jumping. It should be Jumpin' Jacks. It should be like,
that's even better. But he has to have an apron on.
Like motion.
Yeah. He's got to have an apron on.
Yeah.
I will not back down on the apron. He has to have one.
Yeah. And it's great because, like, right? Like, I go to the collectible expo at, like, our local mall, and I got that great, like, drawing of our cats. Like, I'm sure there's local artists there sometimes, and I like to give them business for sitting at the mall all day. And so, yeah, I could probably get something commissioned that we could probably, like, convert into, like, t-shirt and merch. I don't know if we'd have to...
There are places that you can get, like, commissions made, but I'm not exactly sure how it works. We're still working on trying to get a Patreon and enough people that want to subscribe to a Patreon for some extra.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just more saying, like, in the future when we have Jumpin' Jack's Jerky Shack.
It also sounds kind of sexual. It's like the Love Shack, but the Jerky Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today's question had nothing to do with our topic.
Okay.
Because I wanted to bury the lead a little.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And that's because today we're talking about one of my favorite, most beloved cryptids.
Oh, are we?
Mm-hmm. You know what it is?
Loch Ness Monster?
No.
Mothman?
No, but I keep seeing these fucking stickers where they're talking about, it's like, Mothman ate my ass. Like,
what?
Yeah. It's in, like, some of the other podcast groups that I'm in, like, that I follow and listen to. People post, like, memes and stuff. And one was a bumper sticker that said, like, Mothman was a very gentle lover or something like that. They're just, like, super funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chupacabra?
Nope.
Wendigo? Yeti?
Babe.
Am I getting closer? Am I getting warmer?
You know what I'm talking about.
I've been wanting for you to talk about Sasquatch for forever.
That is what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
We're talking about Bigfoot, baby!
Straight up Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah.
Harry and the Hendersons is a cinematic masterpiece. And I will not listen to anybody that talks bad about that movie. Because it's amazing.
Belongs on PBS, Masterpiece Theater.
That's right. Every station, every streaming, every channel. Harry and the Hendersons. John Lithgow. Bigfoot. There's a dog in there. There's a pool in there. Like, what else do you need? It's Seattle. Like, what else do you need? It's the best movie ever. And I will die on that hill. There's a lot of hills I'd die on for stuff that really is pretty inconsequential.
Seattle's very hilly. There is
a lot of hills to die on.
We got the jinx going on that one.
Derp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. Yeah, because I mean, now I'm really jazzed because like 2-parter, like.
Honestly, we could put it in
so many ways you could take this.
We could talk about this in like 5 episodes. I'm not even kidding. But we're gonna do so.
I'm interested in how you're gonna limit us.
Okay, so to start, I'm gonna tell you all about what the Sasquatch is, in case you didn't know, and then we're gonna talk about the origins, and we're gonna talk about some statistics of Bigfoot, and then next episode, we're gonna talk about famous sightings, Bigfoot and pop culture, and just some Bigfoot Today information. Okay, so to start, we're going to talk about what the Sasquatch is, in case you didn't know. So,
It's a big hairy man.
he is more than a big hairy man.
Big hairy muddy man.
No. So, a Sasquatch, Bigfoot, lots of other names that they go by, is a large humanoid bipedal, which means it walks on two legs, creature that stands anywhere from 6 to 9 feet tall, with some reportedly being 10 to 15 feet tall. That's a huge bitch.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like,
They're covered in fur, and the range of fur colors are anywhere from black, brown, even red or copper to like light tan. They're said to possibly have yellow or reddish eyes that glow in the dark, similar to that of raccoons or owls. So humans' eyes don't do that in the dark, but you know how like you shine a light in a raccoon, their eye lights up. We know all about that because we got raccoons. We should give them names.
We named the one Ricky, and then every time we saw a raccoon on the highway, we'd be like, "Oh, there's Ricky. He got hit.
I'm squanching here."
Squanching here."
So many folks who claim to encounter Bigfoot say that the facial features more closely resemble that of a human as opposed to any other type of ape or bear, which is what some people contribute these sightings to. So they say that it's not a Bigfoot, it's like a bear, an ape, or whatnot.
Yeah.
Another defining characteristic of the Sasquatch is a very distinctive, unpleasant smell. So,
Poor guy.
well, some liken the smell to that of a skunk, but it has also been described as a garbage smell or even a decaying animal smell. Like, not a good smell.
Okay.
Smells bad. Like rotten eggs, sulfur, like he's gassy. But one thing that most everyone agrees on is that it doesn't smell good.
Okay.
And to be fair, if you have human characteristics along with animal characteristics, you're most likely going to have body odor issues. Like if a person's pretty hairy in certain areas,
Yeah.
and sweats or doesn't bathe regularly, you can smell it. So
Yeah.
factor in a lack of soap or regular bathing in the river, you may not smell so good, you know?
Yeah. I'll go a little cynical on that one because it's hunting. Smell is like a very large factor.
True.
Right? Like,
Maybe it's like a deterrent.
Yeah, like humans are taught to like
Don't shower, don't use laundry soap, don't use fabric softener, don't use cologne, don't wash your clothes in any type of scented laundry detergent whatsoever if you're going out hunting.
Yeah, and you want to be like downwind of the animal, not upwind of the animal, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's maybe if we could like dissect that a little.
Okay.
Dead animal draws certain kinds of other animals who feed on carcasses.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have stuff like that. Skunk smell is very clearly a deterrent.
A defense
mechanism, right? Mm-hmm. So if Sasquatch is, you know what I mean, like we're talking about sizes similar to bears.
Bigger than bears.
Potentially bigger than bears.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so is there, you know, like I think it's the newsroom where the one guy pitches that like Bigfoot is like an apex predator of the Pacific Northwest like forest area, and like, you know, like everywhere else in the world has some large predator. Yeah, so Sasquatch is similar to a bear, right? Like in my mind we're talking similar sizes, like potentially similar weights. I guess what we attribute to a Sasquatch is somewhat human intelligence, like human facial features. We assume goes with human intelligence. Like we know that apes, like gorillas, chimpanzees, monkeys, have like have the ability to learn, right?
Yep.
So we associate it with apes, like they can learn. You know, like yeah. There was like the gorilla that like learned sign language, you know, like monkeys tend to be like thick and super strong, right? Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like
Which
nope.
Bigfoot are too.
Well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like bears are a lot of hair, a lot of fat, because we know there's bears in our area,
Yep.
but there really aren't monkeys. You know what I mean? Even though like yeah, our forest isn't quite like a rainforest like you think of with like gorillas in the mist or
Yeah.
other stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little odd. But yeah, I'd put a maybe it's like co-predator with bears. Maybe it is trying to like n- alert other like bears or other large animals of its presence.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to go into too much stuff.
that's okay. I actually had a thought on that,
Yeah.
because it's not like the thing that I'm gonna save it for the end. I'll save it for the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm jumping ahead, like
No, you're good.
feel free to let me know and be
Nope.
like, save that thought,
I
type
will,
of thing.
but you're not.
So, okay.
Okay, so another distinctive feature of our friend the Bigfoot is, well, big feet, right?
Yeah.
Tracks
Where-
that
it's where the name comes from. So
it's a nickname that's apt.
yeah, it's not like tiny.
No. So tracks that have been found are linked, or tracks that have been found that are linked to a Sasquatch are huge. They can be up to 2 feet long and 8 inches wide. So, Bigfoot, the nickname seems pretty fitting.
Yeah. Should have
Um,
named him Clown Shoe instead.
Not quite as catchy.
Really isn't.
No.
Really isn't.
But you know what? With big feet like that, you have to imagine Squatchy might be packing
Yeah, I mean
in the
that's
nethers. You know what I'm saying?
right. Proportion. You're thinking it's proportional?
Yeah. It's like, no wonder they're so hard to find. They're probably just out there fucking the entire time because they got those big dicks. Or beating off the lady squatches with a stick.
Yeah.
Uh,
That nasty smell is just Sasquatch sex smell.
yeah, it smells like sex in here, out here. Yep, Sasquatch season's in. It's breeding mating season for the Squatch. Every season is mating season for the Squatch.
Every season.
He's got that big dick energy.
Yeah.
That's why he's so elusive.
Because he's out here fucking bitches you can't even see.
Everyone has heard about him, but not everybody's seen him. So that's big dick energy, mystery while keeping people talking.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't have to prove anything to anyone. They're out there getting laid, getting paid in the shade, man.
Oh man, the proportional thing reminds me of my favorite joke off that one show. Was it like Criminals or something? It's a big tall dude who runs around Ricky Gervais. I forget his name. Merchant. I think it's Merchant, like Stephen Merchant.
Okay.
But he's the one. He's like, oh, I know what you're thinking. Is it proportional down there? And he's like, no, because then I'd be 8 feet tall.
Oh my god, I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
That on like
The really skinny, dorky
Yes.
guy. Yes.
that was pretty funny. I remember that. We laughed really hard when we
Oh
watched that.
god, that joke. I think I watched like 3 episodes into that show more than I normally would have, purely because that joke was so good.
Yep. We had high hopes for that one.
Yeah.
So another thing about Sasquatch, besides the big dick energy, they have a very distinctive sound that they're said to make.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know this one.
Now, people have reported hearing strange sounds like howls, growls, grunts, and shrieks. And some experts in the field believe that the Sasquatch actually have their own language with even more vocal range than people. So they have like an extended vocal range.
Okay.
Or they're out there fucking.
Well, yeah, I'm like everything you just described could be attributed to a raunchy sex.
They're just very
time.
sexual creatures, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just had the mental image of like you're out camping, Sasquatch comes sauntering up with like his little like pegging. Like,
Why would he peg? He's got a big dick. If it's a female squatch, she might be trying to peg.
yeah.
Like that TikTok I showed you.
Or maybe he wants to be pegged too, you know?
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah. Love is love, man.
I don't know if pegging is love.
Well, obviously you've never been pegged.
The secret of the cuckold is it's not the female that the real relationship is with. R. McMurray.
We got another goopy episode, guys. It just sounded
Goopy?
like I said goopy, didn't it?
You said goopy.
I meant goofy. Goopy. I hope it's not goopy. God.
I don't know. Something's dripping here.
Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yeah, all I'm saying is howls and shrieks sounds like Bigfoot and his lady are getting it on, and people are like, "What's that noise?"
Huh? You know what? Good for them. Like, out there living their best life.
Yeah.
Out in nature. You know, nobody knows. They're like the most mysterious creature. They've been playing this game of hide and seek for fucking decades.
Yeah.
Centuries even. And nobody's found them.
Yeah, I feel like it's normally you assume a guy when you think of Bigfoot. You don't think of the female squatch.
But I mean, there's gotta be girls to keep making babies.
True story, right?
Unless they're like
Immortal?
seahorses. And the males carry.
Oh.
But I think they still have to be fertilized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking immortal, but what I was thinking of is like, if you and I were fucking and we heard a noise,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to look and who's staying in the bed under the covers?
I'm nosy, so I'd probably be like, I want to go.
Don't play.
I want to
Come
go
on.
see.
You are not going anywhere naked.
Oh, naked? No.
Yeah.
I don't even want you to see me naked.
Yeah.
So
I would argue that the traditional thing is the guy goes and looks at weird noises.
that is the traditional horror trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bigfoot out here laying down the pipe with his wife. Some innocent campers walking along. What's that noise? They start causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
They're in their vinegar strokes.
well, Bigfoot was in his vinegar stroke. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Finishes, you get a little too close, and now he's coming over like, "Why you in my yard, bro?"
Yeah. You looking at my girl, dog?
Yeah. No wonder he supposedly beats the shit out of people.
Yeah. I mean, there's even worse ones. So
Okay.
here in the US and Canada, there are some different versions of what we would think of as like a Sasquatch. While Sasquatch mainly lives here in North America and Canada, there are actually several variations that are reported all over the world.
Yeah, I think of Yetis
Yep.
in like the Himalayas, right?
Yep. So Indonesia has the orang pendek. I'm sure I did not say that right. Australia has the Yowie, and Asia has the Yeti and the Yeren. And these are all versions of a hairy ape-man hybrid, so that just lends itself to the validity of the Sasquatches because they live everywhere, in my mind.
I think that that's a valid argument, right? Like that again, it's a cryptid, mythical creature,
Yep.
whatever you really want to call it, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that like survives or exists in multicultural,
Yep.
like more than one culture
Mm-hmm.
around the globe.
Yep. Here in the U.S., there are stories of similar creatures like the skunk ape and the Fouke monster in the south. And the Takuhi is actually in South Dakota.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Takuhi.
Takuhi.
It sounds almost Native American.
Absolutely. Now, he's a fancy feller. He is said to sport a top hat and a coat.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not even joking. Not even joking. He is a dapper Dan, let me tell you, okay? And he reportedly has a penchant for ripping off the genitals of cattle.
Cattle. Okay.
So that's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he does it in style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
puts his little top hat on the back of the cow. And
Top of the morning to you.
yanks
Apparently he's Irish too.
Apparently. It's like the opposite of a leprechaun.
Instead of stealing your gold, he steals your jewels.
Yeah, that's a good one. A famous jewels.
Oh no, me nuts!
Oh my god! Oh Jesus Christ! Stop! Yes. Oh my god!
Yeah. I included that one just for you because it's South Dakota and it's a Bigfoot hype. It's like a version of Bigfoot, but he's a big dick. He steals nuts off of cows.
Yeah. See, I probably have never heard of him because, again, I grew up in eastern South Dakota. It's more farmland than ranch land. West River is where the cattle are. So if I'm Takuhi, I'm more on West River.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we have the Badlands is West River. Like,
yeah.
Not saying he lives there, but I'm just saying.
He could hide there.
He could hide there. Not many people live there. Not many people go there.
It's because they kill him. They'll rip off a human's nuts if they need to.
Yeah.
Keep him quiet.
Like a bad Vietnam War movie, just like instead of a necklace of ears, it's like a necklace of like dongs.
I guess genitals, nuts. I just am assuming like balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not really useful for anything unless you're trying to have a kid. You can still operate without them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that, Two Broke Girls? She's like, I dated a guy with one ball before. I assured him it was just as ugly as two.
Right? Last I checked, the nuts weren't going anywhere near pleasure centers of the woman. So,
I mean, some guys like their balls rubbed.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it might be okay for the dude, but I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah. In a pinch.
The term balls deep is a weird term.
I don't. Not really.
You've ever had a dude try to put a testicle inside you?
No, it's like your balls are the stopping point.
Oh, balls okay. Deep. See, I'm sorry. I was thinking the testes were deep in the lady.
No, it's like your balls deep. So your balls are as deep as
They're the stopper.
They're the stopper.
Okay.
I'm so glad I could teach you something today.
For those kids out there.
God, I hope you're not letting your kids listen. If you are, please don't. Please don't.
Adults only. Rated M for mature.
I for immature adults like us.
Yeah, I am for immature adults.
Okay.
Okay.
So legends of Bigfoot have actually existed for hundreds and hundreds of years here in North America. Native tribes all across the U.S. and Canada have stories of an ape-like, hairy man in their history. The name Sasquatch itself actually comes from the Salish word sasquitz or sasquatch, which I'm probably not saying those right. But reportedly the first use of the actual word Sasquatch was in 1929. The Tool River Reservation in California has a rock painting created by members of the Yoka tribe. Again, I'm not probably saying these right, but I'm trying. Yeah. It actually shows a family of Sasquatches, or hairy men as they're also called, including a male, a female, and a child. This painting is located at a place fittingly called Painted Rock. According to BigfootProject.org, this particular drawing is unique because it also has accompanying stories as well. The paintings are estimated to be between 500 and 1,000 years old. So obviously it's not just modern invention. It's not a modern invention. The elusive Bigfoot has been around longer than any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're saying, yeah, it's 1920, but they're saying the paintings are older.
Yeah, so the paintings are the first use of the word Sasquatch was 1929, but the paintings are like 500 to 1,000 years old.
Okay.
So, speaking of history, 1811 was the earliest mention in modern white culture because we know Native Americans had already mentioned it in their culture, in their, oral histories. But in modern times, one of the first actual reports of a Sasquatch in North America was in a paper called The British Colonist. The article was published in 1884 and it discussed the discovery of what was described as, quote, half man, half beast on some railroad tracks. And these tracks were near Yale, British Columbia. So the article called the creature Jacko, and he was cornered essentially after being pursued by a group of men. Apparently, Jacko was woken by the group, which rude. Like, never, we just let a sleeping bear lie. Like, if you see some random like unknown creature, I ain't trying to wake it up. That's for sure. Like, dude's having a nice snooze, and then he gets woken up by what I can only assume are a group of hunters or explorers or loggers, who then chased him and cornered him on a bluff. It is said that the men then knocked him out by chucking a rock at his head. Like, what the fuck?
These people are just the worst, is what it sounds like.
I know. Like, you don't even know what this thing is. Why are you trying to kill it? Like, at least where's your curiosity? Unless they were, like, really hungry or something. But still. Like, you don't know if you can
kill it with fire.
You don't know if you can eat a Sasquatch. I didn't see what was done with the body or if they actually killed it. But once published, the paper actually received letters with more accounts of wild men of the woods.
Okay.
Yep. And I was actually curious where most sightings occur and found a really good website called bfro.net, which is the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, and they have an awesome breakdown of reports by state. So, no surprise, Washington State topped the list with 711 reported sightings, with the most recent being July of 2023. So, just last month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. California was the second highest at 461, with the last report being December 2022. So Florida was third, which was super surprising to me because I was sure Oregon would be next, but it's actually sixth highest, and it's behind Ohio and Illinois.
You can't say it without
Illinois sounds weird.
It's fine. Just say your thing.
Illinois. With 257 reports in Oregon, and that's actually only 3 more than Texas. So Texas and Oregon are like 6th and 7th, and they're pretty close.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah. The website also gives some Canadian stats, which I'm just going to give you really quick. So British Columbia had 134 as of 2020, and Ontario was at number 2 with 68 as of 2020. And they also had some international stats. Malaysia was number 1 at 36, but that was as of 2006. So it's been a while since we've gotten any updated reports of that.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah.
What? You
so
had to
first we pronounce
Florida.
it Illinois, not Illinois. The S is silent.
It sounds so weird. Illinois, it sounds weird to me.
It's either fancy or it's like Native American. It's one of the two.
Illinois, I could see that being like Native American.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Iroquois.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Almost
okay.
Exactly like Iroquois.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then Florida, I'm just chucking that one up to Florida man.
I mean, that's fair.
Like literally Florida man out, not taking showers, not taking baths.
Hairy.
Tromping around, hairy, getting that swamp ass that smells so bad.
Fair.
And people being like, oh, I saw Sasquatch. It's like,
I smelled them too.
Yeah. It's like, no, that was just Jimmy Bob down by the Everglades there.
Down there at the Everglades.
Yep. That's just Florida man.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we know that they have big feet, and the existence of giant tracks with unknown origins do exist. Now, whether these tracks are genuine or manufactured as part of a hoax, that's a little harder to define. Some of the earliest reported tracks were discovered by a man named David Thompson. He's credited with being one of the first persons to encounter tracks of Bigfoot.
Okay.
He was a trader and a well-known surveyor, and he was working for the Northwest Company in 1811 when he recorded finding a large set of footprints that looked to be too large to attribute it to any other animal. I actually found a journal entry that he made, and I'm going to read the entry. This was on sasquatchalberta.com, and it was, quote, January 7th, 1811. Continuing our journey in the afternoon, we came on the track of a large animal, the snow about 6 inches deep on the ice. I measured it. 4 large toes, each of 4 inches in length, to each short claw. The ball of the foot sunk 3 inches lower than the toes. The hinder part of the foot did not mark well. The length 14 inches by 8 inches in breadth. Walking from north to south and having passed about 6 hours. We were in no humor to follow him. The men and the natives, he did not use the word natives, but I'm supplementing, would have it to be a young mammoth, and I held it to be the track of a large old grizzled bear. Yet the shortness of the nails and the ball of the foot and its great size was not that of a bear. Otherwise, that of a very large old bear. His claws worn away, and this the natives would not allow. So he found a big ass print, and everybody's like, yep, nope, we're going to just keep on keeping on. We're not trying to find this thing.
I mean, I wouldn't want to either.
No, with 14 inches, that thing's got to be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's said that Thompson traveled over 62,000 miles. That's 100,000 kilometers in his days as a surveyor. At the time he discovered the tracks, he was somewhere along the Athabasca River near modern Alberta, Canada, although the exact location is unknown. One thing to note about his description is he only mentions one set of tracks, so no front and back, just those that more resemble something that walks upright like a human, right?
Okay.
The natives he was with, along with the other men, seemed to have an idea of what made the track and gave it the respect and distance it deserved, which, smart move. Because, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there were mammoths in 1800s. I'm pretty sure all the mammoths, like, died out well before that.
Well, I mean, the 1800s, they don't know. They might think that there's something that's still around, like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say mammoth, I think woolly mammoth.
Like, yeah, true.
Right?
Maybe he meant mammal.
Yeah, maybe just mammal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a mammoth mammal? A gigantic
like
mammal?
Using it as a gigantic. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Another famous set of tracks were found in 1958 by a man named Ray Wallace. He actually created several plaster casts of tracks that he found while working in Northern California as a road contractor. He is one of many folks who have claimed to have found legitimate Bigfoot tracks.
Okay. And he took casts of them.
He took plaster casts. I think of like Harry and the Hendersons where they're making the casts. You know that one crazy guy? That's what I always liken it to.
Talking about the professor or the bad guy?
The bad guy.
Okay.
And the professor. But he did it for good reasons, not bad reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is where we're going to end today's episode. Next week, we're going to go on to talk about some pretty famous sightings and encounters, along with Sasquatches in pop culture and media, and some other possible explanations for the skeptics. But before we go, Adam, what thoughts do you have for us?
Oh, man, I feel like I asked a few.
I do have one theory that I thought about at work today.
Okay.
While I was like working on some numbers. You know how your mind wanders.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how people say, where are the bodies? How come we've never found a skeleton? Where's the bodies? Right?
Okay.
That's a legitimate question.
Yep.
Now, I've heard theories that like people say, "Oh, well they're more advanced. They bury their dead, or they're aliens and the aliens get zapped back up when they die."
Sorry, I burped there.
That's okay. I have another theory.
Okay.
What if they're similar to like the scrolls, that are like mixed in amongst people,
Okay.
like on the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret Invasion TV show.
Yep. What if Bigfoot is like a scroll in its natural habitat, and when it dies, it just dies in the form of a human. So that's why they find like regular, like, corpses. They don't find actual Bigfoot bones because they morph into like a person. So people don't know that they exist here.
It'd be like if the skinwalkers were like covering up their tracks or
Yeah. Or alternate timelines. Like the sightings people find are like when they skip timeline or skip realities and they like glitch on somebody else's timeline so they see the Bigfoot, but they don't actually exist in this timeline, just in other timelines. Was another thought.
Okay.
I was thinking about Marvel
I had a better
today.
theory for you.
What's up?
How many buffalo skeletons have you heard of?
Not very many.
Not very many, right?
Yeah.
When you think of buffalo, you don't think of seeing skeletons like recreated, like fossilized or anything, right?
True.
And that's because Native Americans were known to use the whole animal. When they killed a buffalo,
Yeah.
broke up every piece, like everything was used.
You're saying Bigfoots are cannibals?
I'm not saying they're cannibals, but what I'm saying is, what if when a Bigfoot dies, you used the skin for things, you used the bones for tools, and what if that's how the Native Americans learned to do that with buffalo? Snip, snap, snip, snap.
I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I like it. Because I do believe that okay, in my mind, I've said this before many times on this podcast. In my mind, Bigfoot is like the gentle giant and like Harry and the Hendersons, right?
Yeah.
It's not the ultimate apex predator, like alien-ish thing in my mind. Now, that's just because I want it to be. I want it to get like a house. I'll get a big ass trap to put out there to catch a Bigfoot. Like put some salad in there.
Yeah.
Come get it.
Yeah.
Like, a la Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. And I don't know if we're going to go into it next week, but I know you watched that one show where like it talked about like how there were like campers or hikers go missing and like they like, I don't know, like talk about like things being drugged like a long ways or whatever, like that definitely leads to like a more nefarious Bigfoot, I would say, right? Like, I don't know if we're going to touch on any of that next.
Maybe it's like people, like maybe there's like serial killer Bigfoots out there, that abduct people and they're giving all the rest of the good Bigfoots a bad name.
Well, I mean, if there's intelligence, right? Like you would think that there is some potential moral conundrum between should we make ourselves hidden? Should we protect ourselves more? Should we be more aggressive to the invaders?
Maybe they live in Wakanda. Why am I on such a Marvel kick right now?
I don't know.
I really don't. But I am.
Here's a better example.
Okay.
Right? Here's a better example. Native American.
Yep.
Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse.
Yep.
Right? Both very well-known Native American figures. One, a warrior repelling, and then the Crazy Horse, and then Sitting Bull is like just as much but more like understand. I think he maybe at least understood a little bit more that like the settlers are here to stay.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna be able like they just keep coming type of a thing.
Yeah.
So, and maybe at some point Bigfoot's like, here's how we can live in harmony. Like here's how we can live roughly on our own.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And I did remember the one thing I wanted to bring up at the end of today's episode.
Okay.
We're hearing right now that like aliens or UFOs exist.
I was like, I hope the next thing that they release is they know that they can prove that there is the existence of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Come on, give us something good. Like, I just want to see a Bigfoot so bad.
Even if it's like a picture from like the 50s or 60s or something like that, but it's like clear. It's like video proof.
If they're like, you
like,
know what?
Straight up.
We actually have the bones and DNA that we have confirmed is a Bigfoot, I'd be so fucking happy. Like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
I'd probably end up dying because I'd be like, we're gonna go find one. You know what I mean? Like, at least I'd die happy, like looking for Bigfoot.
We're not gonna find one, babe.
Yeah.
Like, babe, we're not gonna go. We're not.
But
gonna
I am gonna get a big trap and set it up in the backyard.
Human-sized trap.
Maybe
like,
I'll get a baby Bigfoot. And then the mama will come along.
Yeah.
And I'll get my ass beat.
Yeah. It won't just open the trap. It'll like open our door. Fucking
it'll like break in.
Yeah.
And kill me. You take one of mine, I'm gonna take one of yours.
Yeah.
What is it on Bigfoot and on Harry and the Hendersons with the cat where he like loves the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had the opposite thought. I was like, what would Jax do if he saw a Bigfoot outside our back window? Like,
he'd probably like start growling and freak out.
Yeah.
It's like when you see those videos of cats that like swat at a window when a bear's outside and the bear takes off. Like, oh shit, I don't want none of that smoke.
Yeah. This little tiny thing is more ferocious than it seems.
Yep. It's like the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think those were my main thoughts that I had, you know.
All right.
I mean, it's really interesting. It's so funny because again, it goes back to I don't know if I've made this point in other podcasts, but it's like I never really heard of the Takuhi.
Yeah,
am I saying that right?
Yep.
Takuhi.
I mean, I assume that's
in South Dakota.
Yeah.
So it's like so like Bigfoot was never a part of like the mythology of me growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen Harry and the Hendersons. I understand like Bigfoot is like out there.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if I made this claim in a previous post, but it's like when you're in a flat place, he doesn't have anywhere to hide.
True.
Like, so obviously he's not running around the prairies.
Yep.
You know, even though there's probably some good cattle there.
Yep.
To rip some genitalia off. It's such a fucking weird one.
I'm telling you, I died. I've heard of that one before, and I wanted to bring it up because I've heard of it before, and I'm like, he wears a top hat.
Wears a top hat.
He fancy.
He snatches your balls.
Yep. Every time. It's like he's like a fucking magician.
Yeah, that's why he's got the top hat.
Instead of pulling a quarter out behind your ear, he pulls your balls off your taint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No quarter for you.
No. Maybe I'll leave you a quarter.
Yeah.
Call somebody who cares.
I almost went tooth fairy on it.
Oh! You're supposed to wait for them to fall out.
Yeah. Now just go to sleep, put them under your pillow. Takuhi will come and leave you a quarter.
Can you fucking imagine?
No, I don't think I can imagine. That's the whole point.
I'm glad you can't.
Fucking giant ape in a top hat coming to give you a quarter for your nutsack.
Not a penny for your thoughts. It's a quarter for your balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I smell another merch idea.
Get like a keychain with like a nutsack and with like Takuhi souvenir.
I went to North Dakota and all I lost was my balls. South Dakota, sorry.
It's all good. He's probably in North Dakota too. Let's be honest. I think there's some ranch land up there. Oh my god.
Well,
this is too much. This is almost too much.
As always, thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and download our show, as well as leave us a rating or review on whatever platform you're listening to on. That really helps us out. If you guys could like give us a 5-star rating, maybe a nice review, we would be like totes grateful. You can also help us by sharing us with your friends, family, social media, all the things. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all just Creepy Cascadia Pod. Or you can check out our website, which is creepycascadiapod.com. You can also send us an email to admin@creepycascadiapod.com. If you've seen a Bigfoot, send us a picture. I want to see it. If you have a video, we're going to play next time the sound of what they supposedly sound like.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. So you guys will hear that next time. And like I said, we're going to be talking more about Bigfoot next time. I could probably talk about this for like 10 episodes, but we're going to limit it to 2. If you have your own story that you want us to read on the podcast, you can send it to the email or you can DM us. We hope everybody is having a great week and has a great week and gets a kick out of this because we laughed a lot while making this. And that's good because that's fun. And because we're immature and dumb.
I had another thought about the sound. Is it like Forrest Gump?
It kind of is. Well, with that, everybody have a great week. We'll be back next week for more squatch and
I'm squatching here.
Bye.
Bye.